So I thought I'd start this new series on my channel by doing the BookTube tag. The first question is, why did you start this YouTube channel? And the thing is, this isn't really a BookTube channel per se. It's mostly a writing advice, writing tips channel. But since I read a lot and like many other writers out there, get a lot of inspiration and insights and just writing impulses from other writers' work, I thought it might be useful and interesting to discuss what I like about books, what I look for in books, what I learn from books, and yeah. So this is the writerly perspective, but I will also talk about just the consumerist fun stuff, what I just liked because I liked it. And as you might have noticed, I'm doing these videos bilingually in German, which is my first language, as you might have guessed. And in English, this is because many of the books I read haven't come out in German yet, or might never come out in German, who knows. So I just, yeah, why not do a review in English for books that I've read in English and that mostly English-speaking people will have read. I'll also do a German video on this because I feel the slightest of connections towards German authors, and so yeah, share the stuff. I just, yeah, why not? So, second question, what are you most excited about? I am just very excited about sharing my knowledge, my insight, my perspective, because I love to hear other people's insight, knowledge, perspective, and learn from them, and I just want to give also my brain thing and hope that someone out there might get something from it. It's just that's how I roll. Third question, what challenges do you see? Well, I'm just in the midst of one, speaking in English, because I read a lot of English. I've written a couple of 100 pages, no more. I've been around in English language forums for years, so I've written tons in English, but I've barely ever spoken in English since I left school, and it's just weird. It's strange. There are some topics which I mostly read about in English, hear about in English, so I think about them in English, but speaking my thoughts in English it's a weird feeling, and I wouldn't say it's exhausting, but it requires more energy than just speaking in German. And yeah, that will be my challenge here. Fourth question, which fun and unique things can you bring to BookTube? Well, my authorly, writerly perspective, and then I have in recent years developed quite a taste for bad books, which are books that are catastrophical from a craft perspective, but which are fun anyways. And well, this might raise some eyebrows, but I will talk about Moby Dick, which is an utter catastrophe when it comes to the craft aspects. Don't argue with me. This Moby Dick is not a good book. It might be a classic, but it's not a good book. No, it's fun. It's great. I love Moby Dick, but it's not a good book. And Varney the Vampire. Oh, I will talk about Varney. Yes, you will learn about Varney. Also, a lot of my reading material I get from Project Gutenberg. So these are books which are old, very old, and which have never gotten very popular or successful, and which are far off the radar of most readers today, I guess, outside of some connoisseurs and what's the Latin word? Bibliophiles and English professors or Germanistic professors. Yeah, but I will talk about them because there's a lot to learn from these, and some are bad but good and fun, and yes, and that's what I will give to YouTube or BookTube for that matter. 5th question: when did you start reading? Elementary school. Yeah. Question 6: which book or series got you into reading? I don't remember. I've always read books since I could read, and I have no idea which book was the first I ever picked up to read outside of learn to read books. You know, these. I don't remember. I've always read. I've always read, and so yeah, some children's book. Question 7: why do you love reading? Because a book it's a word that you can put in your pocket. It's people that you can put in your pocket. And characters in books, especially in character-driven books, these fictional people, you will know them in the end. When you've read the book, you will know more about them, and you will know them more intimately than you could ever know any other human being outside yourself. And this is something that feels reassuring for me. And I don't want to go into my life history too much, but books are a safe space, and they are better worlds, because at least the problems that have to be solved there are my own problems, and that makes things a lot better. So yeah, they are safe places with people that you can know and that you can understand, and yeah, that's great. And it's hours of entertainment in your pocket. And it's not as exciting now that we have our phones and stuff, but you know, I'm an 80s child, and back then we didn't have smartphones. We didn't have audiobooks, hours and hours and days and weeks and months of books in a phone. And so books were, you know, high tech. It's true. Question 8: what books do you like? When it comes to deciding if I want to read a book or not, it's darkness is my one criterion. Yeah, I like books that have a darker view of the world and people, and naive and bright-eyed, rose-colored world and human view. What's Menschenbild in English? Rosy view on people and the world. It just that's not my thing. I can't relax into a book that tries to tell me that the world and people are essentially good and nice and everything will be fine. And it's just it clashes with my own experience and my own worldview and view of humanity, and I can't relax into that. I keep feeling like I'm being kidded, and that's not to say that I look down on people who like to read rosy books or who like to write rosy books. Not at all. Read and write whatever makes you happy, whatever makes you feel good, whatever you enjoy. And I'm made happy by unhappy books. I enjoy joyless books. Not really joyless, but that's my thing, and I like that, and people are different, and yeah, that's dark stuff is my stuff. When it comes to deciding if I finish a book, it's mostly about characters. So I need characters to be three-dimensional, to be real, to have an inner life, to have reasons, and not just blindly, mindlessly follow the plot because the plot needs to be followed, but who have motivations and who deal with stuff, who discuss stuff inside themselves, with themselves, who you know, where there's interaction between the people's insides and the world outside, and not just their I need to get to point B because I have to get item and put it to place C, and that's the plot, and I don't know why, but I do. That's just, I don't like that. What else? Yeah, conflicts. I need conflicts to feel real. I need people to have relationships for reasons and all that. And yeah, if that's not there, it's very likely that I won't finish a book. I also don't like repetitiveness. So there are some books that keep telling you the same thing over and over again, as if you didn't get it the first time, and maybe you didn't get it the second time, so I'll explain the third time, and if you didn't get it the third time, let me explain a fourth time, and in case you forgot, do you remember this? Oh yes, and it was that, and this, and do you remember? Yes, I remember. I have long-term memory, and it annoys me. And I guess it's a boon to some people who I don't know, can only read for an hour each day and have tons of things happen in between, and it's good for them to be reminded of the stuff, but it's not my thing. I don't like that. It annoys me. And it might lead to me it might be another factor that might sway me to not finish a book. Question 9. Where do you read? Mostly in my bed. I read while I go to sleep, or I have my phone, my ebook up, read to me with a computer generated voice. And I know that's a dark and dirty secret, but yeah, that's how I fall asleep. And on my days off, when I have my phone read to me, I mostly sit on my bed too, because it's comfy. and I like to sit comfortably while I listen to books. Yeah, so my bed. Question 10. What would you like to... Question 10. What would you like to ask your favorite booktubers? Since I haven't waded more than ankle deep into BookTube, I do not really have favorite booktubers yet. So I don't know, I guess I'd ask for more in-depth analysis of why did you like this? Why did you not like this? What exactly is it? Because that's what interests me, more in-depth, authory, question type, observation stuff, and not, I wouldn't say superficial, but more craft oriented looks into books. That's what I'd like, but as I said, I haven't seen that much of BookTube yet, and so yeah, I'm just, why this, why that, why did you feel this way, what yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's my BookTube newbie tag, and I hope it will all work out with all that bilingual this two language stuff, and yeah, that's yeah. Bye. See you soon.